gentlemen. Welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared Podcast, home of people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, Austin Creed. I want to welcome you into the show this morning. My friends, when I look around the political landscape, when I look at the political circus, when I look at the ringmasters, when I look at all the different political zoo animals that are in this circus, I can't help but wonder how anybody could actually think it's real. Now, what am I talking about? Well, I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. In America, our government was established to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Problem is, the people are often the ones that are left out. Also, the people are often the ones who are the most stupid. The people are supposed to hold the power, and that's why people like to say that we live in a democracy. Well, we don't. We live in a putative republic. However, there are democratic elements of our putative republic. But you know what's really interesting that people don't talk about? I'm giving you like a 5-second history lesson on the United States government. But you know what's really interesting is when I look at the current government, I think this goes back to really when mass media became popular. The radio, the television. When you look at old World War II propaganda that was done by Walt Disney, Roy Disney, it was decently American. But when you look at the more recent propaganda that's often pushed by private entities, you realize that it's the private entities that both fund the governmental system as well as tell you, kind of condition you to believe think a certain way, believe certain things, and hold certain values. What am I talking about? Well, let's take love for an example, okay? Most people have this idea of what love is, what it should look like, how they want their relationship to play out. Where do you think they got those elements from? Do you think they got it from watching their parents? Well, considering the divorce rate and the single mother rate, doubtful. Do you think they got it from looking at political couples? Probably not. Where did they get it? They got it from television. Oh yeah, they got it from television. They got it from watching the people in the TVs and the movies and the sitcoms and everything else. In fact, a lot of the men that the women loved back in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, and the 80s, they were all gay. Now, that's nothing wrong with being gay. It's just meant to point out to you that what you want is largely a farce. It's not real. And men, a lot of the women that you like today, they're fake. Either they have all kinds of plastic surgeries, BBLs, Botox, the miracles of modern science, or they used to be a man and now they're a woman and you think that they're a woman. That's why a lot of times I think the political system is just a farce. Because if you go all the way to the top, you go to the top levels of government, everybody they go to the same cocktail parties, know the same people, have the same donors, go to the same cocktail parties, and they play the same finger pointing game of when I'm in power, the other party gets to raid the treasury, and the party in power takes the blame. And then 8 years later, the other party takes over, and then the other party goes and raids the treasury in the House and the Senate, giving each other contracts and insider trading, in my estimation. In fact, there's an entire website dedicated to watching Nancy Pelosi's tradings when she was Speaker of the House. But yet you have people like Martha Stewart going to jail for insider trading, but yet people in Congress can do it all day. And they make a lot of money for both themselves and the people at Lockheed, Boeing, wherever, in my estimation. But yet, you think your vote counts. You think you're living in a great nation that's free. Well, to an extent, if you want to compare it to other places in the world, you would be right. Here's the problem. You think that your vote matters. We're told these stories of Jameson Shoemaker. You ever heard this story? Jameson Shoemaker was a man who almost didn't make it to the polls one day, and then when he voted, his one vote put a man in office. And then he voted for Marsh. Marsh then won by one vote. Marsh voted for, I think it was Harrison, who won by one vote. And then Harrison voted for Texas statehood, which was done by one vote. I might be mispronouncing that guy's name. But Texas got statehood by one vote because the state legislature got in by one vote, who was elected by the other guy by one vote. It's supposed to show you that your vote matters. And that might even still be true to an extent. However, with modern technology, your vote does not mean as much. In fact, there was a man, you might have heard of him, by the name of Joseph Stalin, who said the following. He said, "It matters not who casts the votes. What matters is who counts the votes." In other words, he's telling you, you could vote any way that you want. It doesn't really matter. What matters is if your vote is counted. If your vote counts. Whoever's tallying the votes, did they count your vote? Or did they just insert what they wanted to get the end result that they desire? I know you don't want to hear this, but that's why a lot of people don't believe in that the election in 2020 was legit. Now, I'm not going to get into that because I don't think that there's any point in getting into that. But also, you need to understand something else. There is a very close relationship between the media, the mafia that controls everything that you read, everything that you hear, everything that you see, everything that you encounter on a daily basis related to news, and then the government, the people in power, the people in big money. They're the ones who control everything that you read, everything that you hear, everything that you see. They're the ones who control it. Social media platforms, alphabet channels on cable television. They're the ones who get to control everything that you see and read and hear. And they have very good friends in the government. Now you don't want to hear it. Now you don't want to believe it's true, but it's their bosses who own their companies who donate to candidates to get them in the office. And then the candidates, they scratch their back and then their back gets scratched back. Look, no, you don't want to hear this. You want to hear that our political system is full of great, virtuous people who care about the average Joe, who care about real issues, who care about national security. I'm not saying they don't do anything for you. What I'm saying is when you have a class of career politicians, you have to realize that a lot of the things that are going on today are planned. It's been a drip campaign for decades to get you to believe a certain way. There was a time when gay marriage was not popular. Now it's normal. There was a time when pornography was not normal. Now it is normal. There was a time when women's rights was not popular. Now it is popular. I'm not saying these things are inherently bad. What I am saying is you need to look at how they went from being totally on the fringe to the norm. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen because someone in the government said so. It happened because their children started to accept it a little bit. They then taught their kids to accept it a little bit. You add a little sprinkle of the media, add a little sprinkle of entertainment, add a little sprinkle of the politicians supporting it and mentioning it, and then bada bing, bada boom, there you go. We're in business, there it is. And before you know it, everything is normal. See what I'm saying? Are you able to follow the bouncing ball? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? This is how it works. Just look at YouTube. You're probably watching me on YouTube if you're watching the video. YouTube recently adjusted its guidelines to allow more nudity on the platform and to monetize people doing twerk videos and to basically monetize a bunch of debauchery that they had historically shunned. But now, We're going the way of Sodom and Gomorrah, debauchery, low-life behavior. So guess what? YouTube says, I'll make a bag off it. If other platforms are going to carry it, I might as well make money off it, right? Because that's what everything comes back to. Money. Always about money. You want to know what people believe? You want to know what's happening? Follow the money. Trust me. Follow the money. Now, I want to mention something else. You think that I don't have anything to lose by telling you this? Oh, I have a lot to lose, my friends. I could go into mentioning people's names if I really wanted to, but I'm not trying to die. I'm not trying to die in a car accident tomorrow. I'm not trying to accidentally drink something and there was cyanide in it, if you catch what I'm saying. I'm not trying to get whacked. I'm just trying to tell you what's actually going on in these streets, and that's why I would assert to you that most, if not all, of politics are planned out in advance. The shadows on the wall that Plato wrote about. You ever read The Allegory of the Cave? Go ahead and pick that up or listen to it or read it on or watch it on YouTube or something. It's very enlightening. You need to realize that this is nothing new. You just need to see a little past the curtain, because the curtain is what is separating your idealistic view of the world from the very uncomfortable, harsh realities that you're attempting to avoid. My friends, I hope you understand my cynicism and you understand why I'm saying the things I'm saying. I'm not saying it to make you sad and upset and depressed. I'm saying it because I want you to understand the world you're living in, so then you can live your best life and you can be able to be happy, at least as happy as one can be in an ever-devolving world. My friends, God bless you. God bless your families and God bless America. We'll make this a little shorter today, but I thought I really wanted to get this out there because this is something that I've been wanting to discuss and I've hinted at in the past, but I've never actually discussed in detail. My friends, take care of yourselves, because you never know what can happen tomorrow. Take care of yourself today. I'm out. Peace.